Okay, so a typical workday tends to be from about 8:15 till about 4:30 or 5, and you'll typically see on your schedule 3 types of service time: direct service time, indirect service time, and seminars or training. So you'll probably have about 1 to 5 clients a day. That'll include individual clients or maybe clients you see on walk-in or crisis. For indirect service, that'll include case management time, any phone call follow-ups, if you have short meetings filling out paperwork with your students, or if you have meetings. So you might have a meeting for any outreach projects you're doing, or meetings for people that you're meeting on campus. Let's say you're collaborating with someone and you want to use some of that indirect service time. And then seminar training, you'll probably have maybe 1 supervision hour or 1 to 2 hours of seminar. So that could be your clinical seminar, a multicultural seminar, or your mini case seminar. And that's pretty much a typical day. It goes by really fast, especially during the fall and spring semesters around midterms and finals. And lunch is about 30 minutes to an hour, and you can meet with cohort members, you can meet with other staff, or you can just take a breather and go for a walk.
As an intern, I remember my typical day would involve seeing clients and having supervision and going to a group or have case conference and also have case management time. So it's pretty packed. Normally we get an hour lunch break. So the day normally starts at 8 and ends at 5, and from Monday to Friday.
Typical work day, well, it shifted some from internship to postdoc. In internship, there was more trainings, and so there was a high percentage of the time was spent in a training. But I would say on a typical day, you're doing a couple hours of individual work or seeing individual clients, but then you're also maybe once a week doing a group. And then you have probably an hour of supervision or group supervision, and you're also doing some sort of a training seminar. I would say that that's pretty common for an internship. Postdoc looks relatively the same, but there's just fewer of the seminars, the training seminars that you're participating in.
It's hard to describe a typical work day here because things do kind of shift around, and sometimes you don't always know what to expect. But a typical work day, you'll usually have maybe a staff meeting. Like we have case conference once a week. I have it on Tuesday mornings. And you'll have supervision. You have 2 hours of individual supervision a week and 1 hour for your project if you're a postdoc. And then we also have an hour and a half of mini case, so it's kind of like group supervision, basically a week. So you usually have kind of a staff meeting or some kind of supervision meeting. You have 3 to 4 intakes per week, so on a typical day you will have an intake, and then you'll see a few returning clients. I would say typically like 3 returning clients, but it kind of varies from day to day. And then once a week you'll have 3.5 hours of crisis drop-in. And so that is kind of one of the things that's sort of like you never know what's going to happen. Like sometimes you'll have a surprisingly calm drop-in shift, sometimes you'll have a really busy one. So that can shift a lot, and it obviously shifts according to like what is going on in the year, where you are in the academic year. So yeah, it's a little bit hard of a question to answer about what a typical day is like. But I would say you usually get a pretty fair amount of downtime or time to do notes. It feels like enough time to do notes to me. So it's busy, you're definitely kept on your toes, but it's manageable.
I'd say that a typical workday is very diverse, in that you're not doing the same thing all day long. So for me, I have most of my clinical work in the morning, and so I would have maybe 3 or 4 hours of clinical work in the morning, and then usually you have seminars in the afternoon, and every day the seminars are different, so you're covering different topics. So it's very, very diverse, day by day. It can be kind of unpredictable also, especially when you have new intakes and you don't know what kind of concerns you're going to get from students. So it can be, kind of keeps you on your toes. Same when you're on track and you are on sort of the emergency, urgent drop-in, you can get anything. So you have to stay alert. And it's a really fast-paced environment. It's really busy, and yeah, it's very exciting. For some people, can be stressful for others, but definitely not a boring working environment.